Good morning, everybody. We got a bunch of stuff to go over today, and not a whole lot of time to do it. So we'll just jump into it. First, we're going to be talking about there's a rumor about a uh, Xbox exclusive that might be coming to PlayStation, and that I'm super excited about. But it is only a rumor, but we're going to talk about that. Shift Up, the creators of Hellblade, they are in the works. They're in the works of going public right now. And I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. There are pros and cons that come along with that. So we'll talk about that too. And Forbes takes a shot across the bow at Warner Brothers in reference to Suicide Squad, which is absolutely hilarious. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff sprinkled throughout that we're going to be talking about. So welcome to the Guys Consumer live stream. Let's get to our guests for today. All right, we are back.
Good morning.
Yes. Right on. So you wanted to hit on the PS5 thing right out the gate.
Yeah.
Right on. Before we get into it, real quick, everybody. How was your week? You have a good week?
I did. It was pretty good. I actually was kind of chilling at the house by myself, getting a little bit of alone time since spring break. So
gotcha.
That was nice.
Yeah.
The only thing that I had was my daughter called me the other day, and she was just like, my closet died, and I was just like, what?
My closet?
And she was like, yeah. She goes, it's like 5-6 in the morning. I hear this loud crash. She was like, I just thought the cats knocked over a laundry basket or something.
Yeah.
She goes, I went to go get something to wear, and that closet is just trash. And I was like, oh, so the rod gave out. And she was like, yeah. So
right on. Okay. So, and that's a bummer.
So that was my excitement for the week. I had to go fix that.
Right on. That's a good deal. Freaking, I stayed on the road for like 4 days. Started Monday. I delivered Tuesday. I was supposed to be back by Tuesday night or something like that. But I ran out of time, so I had to, get there Wednesday morning, load and leave again. So I got back Friday around 1, something like that. Got home around 1. So it was 4 days on the road, and it was brutal.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely brutal. My gosh. But I mean, we're here now.
That's right. Well, I'm glad you're home safe.
Yeah, thank you. Because no snow on the ground. Thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
Could have certainly been so bad, but
yeah,
we're good now. But let's get into the PlayStation. I haven't had a chance to really dive deep into the article. I saw the headline. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yes.
I'm just doing a few more things.
Okay, no problem.
I'm wondering because never mind. Screw it. We'll get there. But here we go. Let's get into the article. Okay, so we've got wait, my mouse was not cooperating. PS5 owners lose access to hundreds of games as digital purchases wipe from their accounts. That is not good. Not good look for you, PlayStation. And we were talking about this, I guess backstage, as they call it, I guess.
But our off-air commentary.
Yeah, that's better. That's a much better way to put that. You know what I mean? Because we're not in the entertainment business, so to speak. I guess in the what do you call it? The mainstream sense. So I like that, the way you phrased it, a lot better.
That works.
But yeah, you were talking about. I had mentioned that I was not a fan of them kind of playing Big Brother on that stuff, but you did say that PS5 said they weren't going to listen to any of your conversations on PS5. Correct. Right.
They I know that during the PS4 time, they were starting to monitor the voice chats and the conversations and everything, and I know Microsoft is pretty big on their Big Brother stuff. There's been several instances where, you know, like with my son, there was one time that like a user had actually like threatened his life.
Yeah.
And, you know, my son said something back, and I was actually in the room when it happened.
Yeah.
And then like within a few minutes we get a voice ban, and I was like, no. So I called Microsoft and I was like, no. I think that as far as, you know, the under 18, the safety and stuff like that, I really commend Microsoft for their efforts.
Yeah.
But I think that there's times like, I mean, he'll constantly have like a ban, and there's times that he's not even on there. You know, like he got like 3 voice bans and didn't even have a headset because it broke.
Right.
So I'm like,
it's like, how are they monitoring this kind of thing?
Yeah. And so, you know, you can report users and stuff like that, and some people just get really angry and decide to just report.
Right.
And
yep.
so Microsoft will do like these immediate bans and stuff. And you know, I get the safety stuff, and I think that they're trying hard, but I think that some stuff needs to be taken over. But when I heard about PlayStation doing it, I'm like, so you're just listening to us? Like, what are you, Alexa? Like,
right.
That's not cool.
Right on.
But with the PS5, they said in 2020 that the PS5 won't have that ability.
Right on.
So that's pretty good.
When I heard about that, like, if it rises to the point of criminality, that you should be able to send up and they can start like an investigation through, you know, the cops or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you can't make threats to people. You get sent to jail for that kind of thing. But if, you know, if somebody is just going back and forth and, you know, they're dogging on each other, I'm less concerned about that. Right. And if they hadn't thrown such a wide net, I'm thinking maybe they wouldn't have as many abuses of the terms of service right there, you know. But I mean, you know, I don't like online bullying, but you know, we are part of a generation that didn't grow up online, you know.
Yes.
If you didn't like something, you know, mute or whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Or take it to the yard.
Yeah, that and you know, that might be an old school of a different era. We don't do things like that nowadays, you know, apparently. But it's like, I think more kids should, you know, like if you don't like what's going on,
talk it out.
Or if you can't come to any kind of common ground, just block them, mute, whatever, you know.
Exactly.
You don't have to listen to that stuff. But you know, if somebody's just really good at insulting people, I don't think they should be. I don't think they should get banned. But let's get into the article.
Okay, let's go. No, you're good. You're good.
A string bug is removing people's games on PlayStation 4 and 5 and Vita, and Sony doesn't have a fix. It wasn't long ago that PlayStation sparked fan outrage when it said it would remove Discovery video content from people's libraries, even though they had paid for it. And you don't like that, gamer.
No, I do not. I don't think that paying the same price for digital content as I do physical media should basically just be paying for the license that the company has right then and there to use and watch said media.
Yeah.
There need to be some sort of protections in place that if a company loses their license like they did with Discovery, that they're not losing their content. Some people spend hundreds of dollars on buying seasons and or episodes or whatever. And it's not okay that when a license between the two companies is up, that digital media is just gone. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that digital media is not yours. You think that you're buying that and it's yours forever. It is not. It's you're buying the license that the company currently has. Yeah. And so as long as the company has a license for that digital media, you'll have access to it. Right. As soon as they lose a license for that, you no longer have access or rights to it. And it is in the terms and conditions. Right. That none of us read. And so, you know, I think it's just something that I really want to make people aware of,
Yeah.
because it's a shocking thing to like wake up and suddenly your stuff is
Right. And you have no way of getting it back, you know?
exactly. So when I heard about the Discovery thing, like, oh man, I was one of those people that was up in arms, and I didn't even have any stuff on it, but I was just like, this is not right.
Right.
Like, let me champion for you guys.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly right.
it's just not cool, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it, but it's just, everybody's trying to go digital
Yeah.
because they can get more out of people, because you're
Mhm.
you're spending the same amount to get the same thing, only not physical.
Right.
And so there need to be some changes with that. Like, there needs to be protections.
Yeah.
There needs to be something. Like, it's not okay for me to spend $35.99 on something.
Yeah. And I would argue
That's the
that
same.
yeah.
So
I would argue that the overhead for the company is, you know, smaller at that point when it's all digital, because you don't have to manufacture the disc, you don't have to manufacture the covers or anything like that. So I would say the overhead is lower and you're paying the same price for it.
And that was always my argument. I know at first it was,
Mhm.
but as I began to do more research, I learned, you know, like the cost of servers
You're right.
and
Right.
hosting has gone up greatly.
Right on.
So you are paying the same price, and it used to make me mad because digital used to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But everybody knows once something starts becoming more popular, it gets more expensive.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is that the server places are starting to charge more, and so now like companies are paying more for servers, for maintenance,
the high
for
demand.
all of that. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think now it's kind of like evening out, like as far as the price goes and the overhead for the companies. But you know, if it's more expensive for you, then maybe you need to look into doing more physical and promo with that.
There you go. Yes.
You know,
as far as I can tell, like with Netflix, they are on a server, right? You pay to get access to their catalog, right? But with something like let's say I'm trying to think of a good example. Like if you buy a movie off of, let's say, Prime, that shouldn't be connected to a server. You know what I mean? That they should have that. You should be able to own that piece of media, you know, because it's not like, you know, refreshing and adding to or anything like that. It's that one particular piece of media that you want. And I'm now I don't know. Like we had this conversation. I want to say last week probably. About the servers, right? I know some games are on servers, I know some aren't, right? The the live services, you know, like Suicide Squad. But
we'll get into Suicide Squad soon, guys.
Yes. Like something like I almost said the Dark Knight, but the Arkham Asylum series, right? Or Arkham series, you should be able to not have to lose that media if you bought it, you know, because it doesn't operate on a server, you know. So, but anyway, I
think
agree.
if you download it,
yes.
it should be there forever.
Yes.
It was actually kind of a shock. We were talking about this before we got on the air, but the higher tiers of PlayStation Plus. Well, you know, I've been used to PlayStation Plus all these years. You know, as long as it's in my library, I always have it.
Yeah.
Well, when you get to the top 2 tiers of the new PlayStation Plus, it's not like that.
Yeah.
They'll only license the games for a specific amount of time.
Wow.
And once they remove it from the PlayStation Plus top tiers, it is no longer in the library. And it will actually show up in your library, like in the top right corner, it'll have a little lock on it.
Crazy.
Meaning you can't access it anymore. And I was just like, so when that first happened to me, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Where is this game? Why can't I access it? Why has it got a lock on it?
Yeah.
And I had to look it up and everything. I read that and I was just like, why am I paying so much for it then?
Right. So, so was it, because I know you pay an arm and a leg for the top tier PlayStation. So was it that, because I'll go on the PlayStation store and see games for cheaper if you have PlayStation Plus, right?
Correct.
So, but you're still paying money for it?
Well, what it is that when you have the top tier the two top tiers. I have the very top one.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that they have in their classic library,
Cool.
any of the, like, you get Ubisoft Plus
Yeah.
and stuff
Whoa.
like that.
All right.
Yeah, you get access to a lot of games.
Yeah.
But anything from those that's not in the regular base PS Plus 3 monthly games that you usually get.
Yeah.
Anything that's not in that is up for grabs because there's licensing and stuff like that. So if PlayStation comes to an agreement with the publisher and says, hey, can we host this for 3 months on top tier PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
They say yes. If I don't play that game within that 3 months, and you don't know because they don't, tell you it's here until this time, which I think would be more helpful.
Right, 100%. Yeah.
But you only will get it for that amount of time.
Yeah.
That I can understand because there is a huge library to choose from.
Right.
But there's times that I'll come and I'll get new games and like where is it? Like it's been like 2 months and now it's gone.
Yeah.
So at first I got irritated about that, but then I kind of started to understand the whole licensing and everything. And Game Pass does it too. Things will come and go from Game Pass, so I get it.
100%.
But as far as the prices for PlayStation Plus, it's kind of like a perk, like how you pay for like the pro membership at GameStop.
Yeah.
And you get a discount if you're a pro member.
Yeah.
That's the same. So if you see anything in the library that says like the PlayStation Plus and it gives you the price, that's just basically your membership perk.
Okay. And you can buy it as a discount.
Correct.
Right.
So it's not that you have to buy the games as well when you have those top tier PlayStations. It's that, again, if the licensing goes up or just in general you're wanting to buy a game, you're getting those membership perks of a discount. So that's all that was.
All right, that clears that up a little bit for me. Okay. Where are we? We can skip that part. Okay. The bug is affecting PlayStation 4 and 5 and PS5 Vita, and fans are certainly not happy about it. At least 50 PlayStation owners have reported that the digital games are going missing. One affected by the bug went on Reddit to explain what's going on and went through vent their frustration that they can no longer access some of their games in a post that has attracted others with the same problem. And he says, this is a quote, "For the last few months, there's been a bug impacting a relatively small amount of PlayStation Network users, in which all digital licenses, including purchased games and titles added to one's library via PlayStation Plus, become deoccupied from your transaction history, which shows you purchased these things." This D-Suds said in their post, the bug wipes games from your account, and to make it worse, D-Subs adds that if you're affected by the bug, you can't re-download the missing games as your PlayStation account won't let you. That right there. And this is coming from Metro Kenneth Anderson. This is, I love that he's highlighting this. It should be highlighted.
Yes.
With the big push going towards digital. And I think that's a kind of a not a symptom, what do you call it? A consequence of the pandemic.
The pandemic.
Yeah. It all helped make the push. I want to say before the pandemic, I want to say like 20 or 30% was digital. And then after, in the pandemic, it shot up to like 70% of people getting their games digitally. So
exactly. It is easier. You get access like immediately. So like, instead of having to go to GameStop for the midnight launch when Tears of the Kingdom came out, I could have just sat here in my room and played it right exactly at midnight. But I really love having those digital titles. So I know a little further in the article, it was talking about another user said that they lost over 400 games.
Good.
And I will tell you that I would probably, there's actually a Sony building not far from me. I probably would have gone up there with my console, chucking it at somebody getting arrested or something. I'm telling you, if I lost 400 games, somebody would be paying. Yeah,
100%.
What I just, as we were going through the article, here's what I know happened. He's talking about how they're decoupling from their purchase history. In PlayStation, we all know, like, we can do that, if a game's missing, we can go to that section in settings that says restore licenses.
Yeah.
And then our games will come back.
Very cool.
Well, what it's doing is because it's erasing it from your purchase history, you don't have a license to it anymore.
Right.
So that's why they're not able to re-download it.
And that's got to be criminal. That's
exactly theft. And so whoever is hit by this, which I didn't realize that's what it was until we got further along in the article.
Yeah.
Because during the week I just kind of had to skip.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. It's not in their purchase history, therefore they can't get access to a restore license.
Yeah.
I have issues all the time where I'll be like, well, where's my game? And I'll hit restore license. I know at least once we've lost GTA 5 on, I think, the PS4. And I was pretty irritated about that because I was just like, I've already bought this. Like, why is it not showing up? And it I went through all like 4 or 5 accounts that I had on that console and hit restore license on all of them, and it still didn't come back.
Yeah.
But it was on my PS5, so I was just like, well, maybe it just switched it to PS5 and we're done.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what happens with these bugs, but there's got to be something Sony can do. And the problem right now is how Sony gonna give you something if you have no record of having it. So I think for me, I'm gonna actually start going through and like kind of moving all my purchase transaction emails into a folder.
There you go.
Because this is kind of scary.
It is very scary.
I might be starting to, I'm one of those, like I'll go in and I'll be like, all right, and have all these photos of what I've got.
Yeah.
So that might be something that I have to start doing because now I'm freaked out. Like I've got a Vita, got a PSP.
Yeah.
I've got PS3 through PS5 in the house, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna go check all the consoles when I get off here because now I'm a little paranoid.
Yeah.
But I would suggest to all PlayStation users, I think what we need to start doing is when you're getting those thank you for your purchases emails, which they send you even if you download the free games. I think we need to create a folder in our email that's attached to our PlayStation Network and start keeping those in case something like this happens. Because at least then you have some sort of record that you can take to Sony. I think with that, it's going to be a bit easier to argue that you did have the game instead of people being like, oh, there's a bug. Let me see what free games I can get from Sony by lying about it.
There's a bug.
Because there are those people. And
there are, they will take full advantage of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I would suggest probably taking pictures of your digital library, going through and finding any of your purchase stuff from this point on. Don't delete any of it. Just immediately move it to a folder, and then you're going to have some sort of safety net. You might have to fight with Sony. Yeah. But you're more likely to get your stuff restored or get a credit put on your account or whatever it is than if you didn't have some sort of record. So guys, with all your digital purchases, start keeping a record so at least you've got something to fight with.
Right on. Always the sharp commentary. That is a freaking great idea. That's
Sometimes
awesome.
I have them, but don't think it's like this all the time.
Right on. Yeah. Okay. That's a lie.
I have mom brain.
Whatever. Next we're gonna touch on this one really quick too. But Power World, they are suffering under their immense success. Says Power Dev says massive profits are too big for a studio with our size to handle. And I remember your message back was, that's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
It is. They actually have an article for it. I do honestly want to read through this just to see how much they've made. Do you want to, or we could just
I believe the number was 1 billion yen.
Yeah.
Which converts over to roughly over 67 million.
Yes.
In US dollars.
Right on.
So, hey, look at me, my brain worked today.
So, oh my gosh. So 25 million players. So they've got 25 million players with 15 million copies sold on Steam and 10 million players on Xbox. They are rolling in the dough. So okay, and we'll get into this one. So it doesn't make sense for a company like I want to say Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair, it doesn't make sense for them to take their company. Oh, hold on, wait. They might already be public.
No, they're actually not public. And they said that they don't have any plans right now to become public.
Awesome.
Which is fine. He wants the guy that owns it wants to stay at the 55 employees that he has and keep it a small company.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying as far as that's a lot of too much money for them to handle because they probably don't have someone that can handle that much money.
Right on.
They're gonna need to figure out like, hey, in order to keep this operating, do we put X amount of profits into like stock market and investments so that we're generating something?
Yeah.
Do we take that risk?
This is a great opportunity for them, you know?
Yeah. Do we put this as going over here and it's allocated for our current game as far as updates and server hosting, etc., and where like basically where are they going to put all their money? Are they going to set aside some money for future development? Are they going to set aside money in case Nintendo does decide to ever sue them?
Oh my god.
Which I really think isn't likely. I know that they want to, but
if they would have done it, you know, like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Once their trailer came out.
I think the problem is, you know, especially like in the US, we have fair use. So it's harder to, you know, get them to go along with, you know, a lawsuit from Nintendo here in the United States because we can prove that it's fair use, etc.
Right.
And so they would have to find a country to do it. And then again, you've got like the PR nightmare. Like you're going to have people that are just totally against it and whatnot. So I think Nintendo's either going to bide their time or they're never going to bother.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think they're safe. But I think Pal World, he said that he's not opposed to like a buyout, but they're not talking about anything yet as far as major companies or studios buying them out. So let's see.
I don't think the buyout thing, definitely don't do that.
No, please. You see what's happening all over with this stuff.
Yes. But as far as like the similarities between Helldivers 2 and Pal World, with them being what you call it, massive games, like it came out of nowhere, and Helldivers 2 is having such trouble with their servers. And I'm wondering, like, what did Pal World do that put them in such a good position to be able to? It's only profit, you know, with Helldivers. I mean, they're making a lot of money, but they've got to spend a lot of money on personnel, servers, and things like that. But Pal World didn't have that problem, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they did. Maybe it was just that they.
Right on.
I feel about
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys.
That's literally my fault because I could not get my stuff together. Like whenever the pressure is on, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. You know?
Yeah, I do that too. I suddenly panic and I'm just like, I'm amazing until the pressure hits, and then suddenly it's like, whoosh, you know, totally different circumstance. But it's not even a problem. I apologize to the viewers, but I'm sure you enjoyed hearing my dogs freak out over absolutely nothing. So,
right on.
The instigator is the Chihuahua Corgi mix.
There you go.
So
freaking Corgi.
Oh my gosh. The wind will blow, and he's like, and then all of a sudden, my big dogs are like, "Oh my god, somebody's here! What happened? Let me protect the humans! Protect the humans!" And so
your Corgi,
you guys just heard that,
Your Corgi is the leader of the group. They're following him. Awesome.
He's such an instigator.
Yeah, that's freaking great.
He's like the youngest child that's always like, "Hey, let's go do this," and then as soon as you get in trouble for it, they're like, "They made me." That
was me. I'm the youngest out of, you know, me and my brother, and I do have a half sister, who I love so much. But It was just me and my brother, for majority of us growing up, and that's how I was the instigator, and my brother would go along with it, get in trouble. And who did it? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I feel
I'm
so
not gonna
hard about that.
lie.
Sorry about that, bro.
Between my brother and I, I'm the younger one,
Mhm.
and so of course I know that I did stuff like that, and I know that I had my mom wrapped around my fingers, so I could get away with that. But I got it back.
Mhm.
Karma came for me. When I was in high school, I was 15. I had to go live with my dad and my stepmom and my 2 younger sisters.
Mhm.
We were actually just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
My youngest sister could cry on demand.
Yeah.
And I lived on the 3rd floor because when my dad had, my youngest sister,
Mhm.
they converted the attic and made 2 bedrooms for my brother and I.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you could hear me start to come down from the attic area. And then I would get to the 2nd story. And by the time I was almost at the landing on the 1st floor, I'd like look and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And she'd be crying. My dad would come in and she hit me. And I'm on the stairs. Like, I'm still on this. Did you not hear me stomping down this? Like, I was nowhere near. So
great.
So,
Sorry.
we're.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was only for movies that did,
No. Actually, at my wedding, I was telling that story and I tried to get her to do the cry on demand.
Yeah.
And she was like, man, I can't really do it anymore. And I'm just like, I love you so much, but I hate you for that. Like,
Yeah.
So I got karma for that. So if you've got any younger half siblings and there's any chance you might ever live with them, do not be that bad.
That was hilarious. I didn't get that bad with it. Like if I, did something absolutely horrible, like through the, broke the fish tank or something like that, I wouldn't be like, it was him. No, it wasn't me. It wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm not selling him out, but I also don't want to get in trouble. So I don't know who did it. I don't know.
There was a lot of that, or a lot of Sean made me.
Yeah.
Which is that's my brother's name. So.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, real quick. Oh, go for it. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, man, the memories are flooding back. Like, he was mean to me, though. I'll tell you that. He was very mean to me.
Right on. So, I mean, he kind of earned his stripes on that one, Right on.
He did.
So the one of the big ones I wanted to talk about was Stellar Blade, the developer Shift Up. They're in talks about going public. Now, with me, I don't think it's an absolutely horrible idea. There are pros and cons to this. And the one thing is you are more adherent to your stockholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're more adherent to the people who give you that influx of money,
Yes, very much so.
What else? You're right. And it's a bigger emphasis on fiscal reports rather than making, games that you enjoy making and that, your customers will enjoy playing, the pros to that, you have a bigger influx of money. You can expand, you can make more games, you can do more things. So I'm on the fence about that. And not to mention, we haven't even gotten Stellar Blade yet, so we don't even know how good it is.
Right.
But
it looks amazing.
it does look amazing.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
that was my favorite preview from the direct.
Yes. Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. It does make you have bigger investment options.
Yeah.
You've got people buying into the stock, so that's an influx of money that's coming in for you.
Yeah.
You are more responsible for your profits and for taking care of your shareholders, which we had talked about last week. That's a huge problem for these big companies right now.
Yeah.
They're also losing investments because it can take
that's right
6.5 years to make these games and really get the development down and the no bugs and stuff like that. So it can cause a problem. Like if I give you $1 million, I don't want to wait for 6.5 years for I'm making it back. You know what I mean? Because we saw that with Suicide Squad. Everybody thought it was going to be great, and it's not doing so well.
Right. And so like
Pal World
is
doing great, and like he said, they're making money hand over fist, and it's so much that they can't even handle it at with what they've got as far as staff.
Right. That was
so it could go either way, and that's why we're having so much trouble with the developers and the layoffs in the company. So yes, they're making a ton of money, but it's also, you have to pay everybody's salaries, you have to do this, you have to do that. I think that I'm still going to tell everybody, just like you do, they need to start working from the top down instead of just getting rid of devs.
100%.
They need to make adjustments, at least I think try. You know, they cut a lot of stuff that was wasting money before they started cutting developers. And I think their layoffs were like the lowest in the industry.
Right.
You know, so
I want to say Embracer just sold Saber for like $247 million. And you know, I can't help but think it's like Embracer put themselves in that situation, you know what I mean? And not to mention, this is from the article we're about to take a look at. Shift Up, they're getting looked at by a Saudi Arabian investment company, and if it's the same investment company,
all I can say to them is Shift Up. Make sure you get it in writing. And especially do not spend money before you get it.
That's
like
right.
Embracer did.
Yes. So, all right, let's get into the article real quick. I was afraid I didn't press the right button on that one. Stellar Blade developers Shift Up to go public at a projected valuation of $2.3 billion. That's awesome. Although the investment climate in the game industry remains turbulent, a new large public offering is on the way. South Korean developer Shift Up recently applied to be listed on the Korean Stock Exchange. Shift Up filed an application on March 5th, planning to list over 58 million shares on the Korean Stock Exchange. The number of shares scheduled for sale during the coming public offering is 7.25 million, with a par value of 200. So 15 cents per share. That is not bad. Oh my God. Especially if
I know what we're doing when we get off here.
I know, right? 15 cents per share. No way. Freaking, and if Stellar Blade does really well, oh my God. We can expect that to go up pretty darn fast. The IPO will be led by hold on, wait. Oh, okay, no, we're good. That's sweet. Hey. The IPO will be led by Korea Investment Securities, NH Investment Securities, and JP Morgan, which they're pretty solid. JP Morgan's pretty solid. As reported by GameLook, Shift Up's valuation approached 2 trillion. I don't know what that crossover would be, but $1.5 billion in October 2023. Around the same time, We Made Entertainment sold 2 million shares it owned in the studio to Tencent subsidiary Aceville for $53.9 million. Korean analysts currently expect Shift Up to reach a valuation of $2.3 billion after going public. The main reasons are the continued success of Goddess of Victory, Nikki, and the upcoming launch of Stellar Blade. According to industry experts, the company could also become a target for investors from Saudi Arabia. and like Gamer said, definitely be cautious. You know, dot your I's and cross your
anybody.
T's.
Ever until
right
you've
on.
got that in your hand.
Yes. So, you know, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable, just because they seem like they are a solid company. Shift Up seems really solid. So I was,
and if it takes off, it's gonna be amazing.
15 cents.
I've thought,
oh
I've thought about buying stocks in video games before, because I'm like, well, if you can get it before they take off, the price is really low. And it's like, I think back all the time, like, man, I wish I wasn't just a child when Microsoft did
No
and Apple
kidding.
did their stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we'd be rolling in it right now.
Yeah. Yes.
So, that, and a great thing about them is they pay dividends, which means they give you either quarterly or yearly cut. Like, they'll give you money, they'll send you money from the company if you're a stockholder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. If y'all are looking
Yeah.
into stocks, check some with dividends. But if you can buy, 15 cents a share is like a steal right now.
100%,
but I guarantee you, when it comes out, it's going to shoot up. Just like I said, popularity. The more somebody wants something, the higher the price. So if you're going to get into something, definitely do it while it's low. And go from there. But
And I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea that they had another game that they had developed. As a matter of fact, let me Google this. We're at the .com there. There you go. Goodness. Okay. I'm gonna see. Shift up corporation.
That's pretty great. 2.3 million. Goddess of Victory.
Yes, Nikki. And they've got Destiny Child. That's so funny. And Defense War Tower. So they've got 4 titles, including the Hellblade that's set to be released really soon.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm not gonna lie.
I love the way
I don't do much. I don't do too many pre-orders. But I even was almost about to do that. Hang on one second. My sister is
no worries.
coming out. I'm going to go give her a hug real quick.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. There's no way I can do that. Let's check. I'm going to look at these real quick. This might turn into a not safe for work deal. But this is Nikki. While we're waiting for Gamer to get back, this is what we're talking about here. This Nikki, is this a mobile game? I feel like it is. I feel like it's a mobile game, but this is what we're talking about. Nikki, this is so funny, dude.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that.
So I brought up some Nikki stuff. This is what we're looking at. It's beautiful women with guns.
See, and the Nikki game, it looks really great. Like, I would totally get those manga characters going and killing people. That's the best.
So here, let me see something here. I'm gonna go back.
See, that's how they get so successful. They make really pretty women and give them guns.
It is a winning strategy.
It's Fortnite with hot people.
There you go. Yes. So I don't know if Goddess of Victory, I don't know if that's a mobile game or not. I don't know. But you also have this one, Defense War Destiny Child. Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny's Child.
I keep wanting to say Destiny's Child.
I know. I just keep going, Beyonce's got a game.
Yeah. So this is, again, beautiful women with just beautiful women. Okay. But yeah, that's what we got. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna see if that Goddess of Nikki is that's mobile. Is that a mobile
think that
game?
one is, or I think they were saying that it was on Android in 2022, and then it came to iOS in 2023.
Okay, so I just went to the homepage for this, and oh my god. They are not playing around with this marketing, dude.
I know, right? Like earlier when we were talking about how they the headline that cracked me up the most was with Stellar Blade, and it was the thirst trap outfit.
Yes.
And like it cracked me up because it really is. But you know what? I guarantee you nobody cares about the low stats because she's gonna look hot.
Here, hold on. Because I actually didn't even see that one. Yes. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was so funny, but they know what they're doing.
Oh. But do they? Whoa! So is it just like a skin color suit?
Yeah, it's like one of the outfits. I what I'm thinking is kind of like how you do in Horizon. Like I'm assuming you're gonna either buy or
Mm-hmm.
earn
Yeah, yeah.
these outfits and upgrades and stuff like that. And some of them always look really awesome, but they do not do anything to increase your combat or defense or anything like that. So I think that's probably, I didn't read the article, I just saw the headline. So I'm assuming, but every headline I've seen says that this outfit is like punishes gamers.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming it just has trash stats for it.
Right on. What was the year? Yeah, let's get into the Forbes one real quick. So apparently Forbes is taking shots at at Suicide Squad. As the headline reads, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League on sale for what it should have cost in the first place, by Paul Tassi. We're gonna take a look at that and hear what he has to say about this. real quick.
He said it should not have been that expensive.
Right. Here, if there are lessons to be learned from the massive success of Power World and Helldivers, both priced around $40, it's that demanding $70 up front for your live service game is probably not the best call in 2024. This is true. People are more strapped for cash, and they're going to be more conscious of the things that they're purchasing. So if you find a game that's $40, you're going to be way more likely to buy that game instead of a $70 game. And not to mention the live service, what that means in people's minds, in 2024. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because you're spending like, right now standard game prices are about $70.
Yeah.
And then so I'm gonna bring up Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 came out. That's great. I paid for the deluxe edition. I got X amount of, the coins and skins and DLC characters and stuff like that. But they're going to suck me dry because that stuff only goes so far. You don't really earn much like playing the game, which I wish you earned more. Like that's one thing I loved about Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Was there were so many in-game opportunities to earn. But if you want a weapon or a skin or whatever, you're gonna have to buy those gems or coins or whatever it is, or even exclusive outfits. That's how Assassin's Creed got me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, look how awesome this outfit looks, and it goes with this. Oh my gosh, And so you spend a ton when you add live services in, and I think that was partial killer of Suicide Squad was the whole live services part before the game. Like even 2 years ago when they were talking about it was going to have live services, people were not happy. So I mean, their whole I want to go live service, give free games, and just charge people everything, I think is a bad idea for Warner Brothers to do. But they've got a lot of thinking and reevaluating to do after the Suicide Squad flop.
And I'll give you an example. So there's a new game, it's Outcast New Beginning, or The Beginning, or something like that I was pumped to get. The trailer, it absolutely wowed me. It didn't have like the most refined graphics or anything like that, but it looked like a really good time. I looked on PlayStation, the PlayStation Store, I want to say a couple days ago or yesterday, and they're selling it for $70. I'm not getting it. To me, it didn't look like a $70 game. It shouldn't cost $70. Now, I could be wrong. I'll wait for the reviews and things to come out. But just from my first impressions, and it just doesn't feel like it should be $70. So I'm definitely going to skip out on that. And I think that a lot of these companies should be taking that into account. Not saying that you shouldn't be proud of what you created, or that you don't think that you created something premium. But with YouTube and things like that, they got a saying called kill your baby. Now I know that's really
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So what they mean is whenever you do a video, it's your brain baby. It's something that you worked hard on and you feel like it is premium, which I totally get. And
I get that, yeah.
Some parts that you want to make it concise and short, concise, and get across what you're trying to get across in the shortest amount of time. And for that, you have to start cutting, and you don't want to cut because you love this thing. You work so hard on it. So what they should be doing is take a really hard look at these games that they create and, decide whether it should be $70 or they should make the price a little bit lower, because that's going to dictate whether people buy your game. And, Outcast
Absolutely.
is definitely off the table for me until it gets into a budget bin. And I
Yeah.
want
Well,
to play
here's
it.
here's the cat doing his little guest star, but just the tail. Yeah, I agree with you because unfortunately right now, like nobody is in the position, except for maybe teenagers that have a job. Nobody's in the position to just spend $70 on a game.
Right.
And then of course have live services on top of that or whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
I know like Rise of Ronin looks amazing.
Yes.
And I was very excited. But at the same time, like I gotta wait and see some gameplay and stuff because games are an investment for me now.
Yeah.
Same for you, we're parents.
Yep.
So we have to be a little more mindful of the video games that we're playing and buying on like right away. A lot of us have to wait for those sales. And of course, developers don't understand that, and they're just like, "Oh, well, this game flopped because it didn't do this many units when it was $70." Well, no, we're poor.
functionally poor.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Ugh.
But
so I agree with you. I was looking forward to that game too, and I am also waiting on that. So.
Yeah. With Rise of Ronin for me, since it looks so much like Ghost of Tsushima, I'm probably going to get that one. So there's Stellar Blade, if I can get my words together, Stellar Blade and Ghost of Tsushima, Rise of the Ronin. Those are the ones that are my top picks for
absolutely for like right away.
Yes, that are coming out pretty close. Their release dates are pretty close. Those are my picks.
Yeah,
and that's $140.
Yeah. As far as picks for games that are coming out right now, I would agree with you. I really do want to get Stellar Blade right away. Rise of Ronin, for me it varies. Sometimes Souls-like games are just I'll get frustrated or I'll just be like, no, I'm not going to do that. So it's hit or miss, but I know Alone in the Dark, that's it. That's a remake that I've been looking forward to because I really love those horror games.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely not buying it right away, even though like they've had sales on it already, because they keep having to delay it. But that's one that I'm not gonna get right away because I'm not 100% sure I'll enjoy it. So I'm probably gonna watch a little gameplay first, to see if it's something that I really want before I get into it. But there's really not a whole lot of games that I buy like right away. Right. Because I don't know how it's going to be. Like Mario versus Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda. Those established brands.
Exactly.
Are very easy choices for me. As far as spending that much money on some unknown stuff is not so much a no-brainer for me. I think the last 3 games that I bought right away that weren't established Nintendo were Resident Evil 4 remake. I bought that right before that was pre-ordered. Hogwarts Legacy was pre-ordered, and Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
So other than that, like I'm very conservative. Yes, they are. But I'm very conservative. Like I'm reading reviews already. I'm checking. I'm doing the pros and cons basically before I decide to invest in video games because they are so expensive.
Yes. Right on. And then, you take a game like Helldivers 2, pretty much anybody can jump into that one because you don't have that, extra $30, and that's a lot. But let's read more down. Let's see what Paul Tessie has to say. If there are, I read that one already. One obvious recent example of that is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, a month after release, it's on sale for 40% off on Steam, down to $42 from $70, in a sale that will last to March 21st, a week before its new Joker expansion drops. This is probably what Suicide Squad should have cost in the first place. Yes, it was enormously expensive to make. But if you can sell more copies and earn more overall despite the lower price, you may want to do just that. Just because you max out prices, that doesn't automatically mean you're going to earn more. This is true. There has been a small tick up in the Steam player count since the sale went live, but yesterday it still peaked under 3,000 players. It is not currently on sale for Xbox or PlayStation, but the theory is that its player counts on console may not be quite as desperate as what we're seeing on Steam. This is true. Whenever you're trying to pull all this information from different platforms, there is a chance, because we don't know what it is on Sony or Xbox. There's a chance it could be higher. I doubt it, but there's a chance.
I mean, I kind of doubt it too, but I think I think more people are buying it on the platforms instead of PC.
Yeah.
I know Steam is in the middle of their spring sale right now, so like everything is on sale there.
Right on. Yeah.
But he's absolutely right. That's kind of like what we were talking about, if they did $40 to $50 games, instead of 70, we know how expensive they are to make. Trust me. We just realized that you made 5 motion pictures with all CGI special effects.
Yes.
In this video game alone.
So crazy.
We do know that, but it's just like how our moms used to say, like, you're going to attract more honey or more flies with honey.
Yeah.
Like if the price is lower,
$40
or $50, I'm more likely to take a chance on that brand new game in the first couple weeks than I am if it's $70.
Yes.
If it's $70, you might have to wait like a month or 2 before I pick that game up.
Yes.
And I still might even wait for it to go on sale before I pick that game up. So, I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
The less money he's absolutely right. If you're charging that lower price, you're going to get more volume of sales and you're going to make more money instead of having $70 games only selling 10% of what you projected you would sell, and then putting it on sale and suddenly you're selling 50% of what you projected to sell.
So what's really funny is if it would have came out at $40, I would have definitely bought Suicide Squad. I would have bought it.
Same here. I would have too. Like, I was excited when I saw the preview for that. Then as soon as the trailer dropped, and then they were talking about how it was going to be like mostly live service and this and that, and some of the information that came out on the games. As soon as I read that, I was like, I'm less excited, And then they're just like, okay, $70. And I was just like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like at all.
Like
I will wait until it does that $25, $30 sale in a year. And then I might check it out. If a couple people that have similar tastes with me say that it's all right, it's worth it, but wait for the sale, then I'll pick it up. But
it's like, it came out $70. I slept like a baby knowing that I'm not buying that game.
Right.
Didn't feel like I was missing out on anything.
I'm telling you right now, I decided that this year was going to be the year, because I started it a little bit last year with Resident Evil 4. But I said the 2024, it's going to be all the Resident Evils.
Cool. Yeah.
And so right now I'm on really old games.
Yeah.
But I'm a Resident Evil girl. Everybody knows it. So I'll still, like, I'm also playing Hellblade. I'll have some of those recordings up when the second one launches.
Yeah.
Because some people are just like, well, I can't afford to buy both games, but this game looks really awesome. It's brand new. But what happened in the first one? Yeah. So they'll go back to a lot of videos and stuff.
That's right. That's very smart. That's really smart.
Yeah, so that one is going to come out. It won't just be Resident Evil, so that one will come out like closer to the launch and stuff.
Yeah.
But this year for me, it's mostly playing old games.
Yeah.
Instead of the brand new games that came out, because things are just hitting everybody so hard with inflation. Yeah. These game prices, like, I mean, I want to buy the deluxe version, but when I have to spend, it used to be $10. Now it's $20 more. Yeah. For a deluxe version. Like, I think I'll just wait until you have a sale on whatever the deluxe stuff is.
Exactly.
So, like, they're trying to make all this money, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's a for-profit business. I
Yeah.
absolutely 100% get it. But
Yeah.
I think there's smarter ways to capture consumers
Mhm.
than what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get you're spending a lot of money, but you
I
could.
mean, yeah, they're spending a lot of money. However, maybe they should look at that, how much they're spending. Maybe bring those prices down. You know.
You would think.
Yeah, that'd be
You
the
would
first thing I would have done.
I know that there's ways to get around that. Like,
There has to be, because Hollywood will do the exact same thing. Freaking Godzilla -1, it was like $15 million to make. But you look at a Marvel, a big budget Marvel movie, the Marvels was like $300 million or more.
I'm gonna tell you, the Marvels was well worth it.
Right on. I mean, they didn't see a lot of that profit though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, as far as theaters go, no, they didn't. But there was a lot of bashing on the Marvels before it came out.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I hate it, and I hate that it's true, but a lot of it was the female aspect.
Right on. Okay.
And my second oldest was here a couple weeks ago, which I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited to share that movie with him. I don't have, you and I, we talk about this all the time. It's too expensive for us to go as a family to the theater.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus. I really was.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I watched it, I immediately hopped on Amazon and bought me my physical copy, guys.
Yeah.
It came with a digital download code too, but I bought my physical copy.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it was that good to me. And so I was really excited to show it to him. It was my birthday weekend last week, and Saturday night I was like, we're gonna watch something, and I set up the Marvels, and within like the first 5 minutes he was like, yeah, I really don't want to watch this. He was like, because, you know, it's all about trashing the male counterparts. I said, excuse me? And he goes, yeah, I watched this whole YouTube video on it. And I was like, okay, first of all, you need to start checking things out and making your own decision.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, but most of us have that herd mentality now because we're so used to the internet and so used to seeing things and believing things, or going with somebody that we trust, but we don't realize certain opinions differ from ours. So I would encourage everybody to truly like kind of give it a chance, because it was amazing. And if you, oh, hi baby, look how cute you are. Aww. I miss when my kids were that little, you guys. Oh, so sweet. Such a good girl. So cute. Oh my God. I go gaga over your kids. I'm sorry. They're so adorable.
Oh my goodness. Sweet. She's the one, she's like, I don't care what you're doing. I need right now. Now.
That's like my last week. Like, I can't find my shorts. Well, I'm in the middle of a stream, and now everybody knows you can't find your shorts. So,
nice.
But yeah, so the Marvels, I would say, was well worth it, because I was watching, and I only got through about 20-30 minutes of it because I really had to go to bed.
Right.
And but I was watching the making of it, and I was just like, seeing the movie, I already knew that it was worth it because of how great it was.
Yeah.
But when you go and look at all the behind the scenes stuff, like the extra effort and money that they spent really made it better. Like they actually built like the ship. And they put it on like a movable
crap.
little stand. So the stuff that you were watching with movements and everything, they were in an actual ship. And they used all these monitors, and they had it go around in a curved way. So like what you were seeing was actually those screens playing those special effects on the actors. It wasn't added later.
Right.
And I thought it was really cool, and I was just like, you know, but I mean, you think about it, Marvel has made so much money, and so has Disney, and they can afford to spend that much and even not get it back.
Right on.
They probably don't even notice that. And so, but the video game companies, it is not that way. You can't make 17 Marvels and charge $70 a pop and expect that to take off and you to make all your money back. That's just not the world we live in anymore.
Right. And I was in a similar position with you as far as the Flash movie, it got
Yes.
trashed all throughout online. And I
Yes.
get some of it might have been against Ezra Miller and what
Yeah.
his conduct off screen and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
but it wasn't all Ezra Miller in the movie. So
right, and I
you
thought
had
they
my
did
boy Michael Keaton there, and
yes,
I was there. It didn't matter.
he
Like
did
Ezra
so
Miller
good.
could have murdered everybody, and I would still been there because Michael Keaton was in it.
Right on. But it got
But that
trashed
movie was
online.
good.
It was good. It
Yeah.
was good. It still gets trashed. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever, dude. But so your point about going to see something for yourself to make your own decision on it, very great lesson to teach to your kids, to your
Yes.
son. It's like, watch it, see if you like it. And what's funny is it was a zero consequence thing for him. He didn't have to pay
Yeah.
for it or anything
You
like
didn't have
that.
to pay for anything.
Yeah.
And
So he just watch
it was about 3/4 of the way through the movie, and I heard him talking and going, I think maybe
Mhm.
they were just talking crap. And
Yeah.
this is not true. This is actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting over there like,
Yeah.
told you. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why you don't listen to me. I'm
It's
only
like-
your mother.
A lot of the stuff that, well, not a lot, but there is a certain section of YouTube that
Mhm.
their thing is to kind of inflame stuff. You know what I
And
mean?
misinformation and stuff. And it's hard to figure it out because sometimes you'll have established people that you know, and their stuff has been correct in the past.
Mhm.
So, like, I absolutely understand my son believing it, but knowing me
Mhm.
and knowing that I've already seen it,
Yeah.
you should have known that I would never support something that did something like that. Because, I mean, my favorite superheroes are Iron Man and Superman. So, like,
Right on. I got a few.
like, yeah, but I mean, those are like my top go-tos, and Batman.
Man,
Obviously,
I can't choose just one. It's
No.
so crazy.
I can never choose one of anything, so I always have at least three. But like I could like Supergirl best because she's a girl and I can relate better and so forth. I hated Wonder Woman until Gal Gadot took over. Like that first movie, like I fell in love with Wonder Woman. I was just like, this Wonder Woman, yeah.
So my thing,
she did great.
Even before she got hired on for that movie, I wish she would have put on more muscle. She should have been more muscly. It was just Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. I didn't really get the Wonder Woman feel. All I saw was just Gal Gadot, and she's got a freaking little tiara and her freaking braces, her metal braces and stuff.
I agree with it. I think that she should have put on some more muscle too.
Yeah.
But if you look at the old TV show, like
she was like a regular woman.
Yeah.
So
I think what they were trying to do was show that like she looked very unassuming.
Gotcha.
She was an unassuming hero.
Yeah.
And I've had that too. I've had people look at me like, and then you don't realize that I lived with an older brother who literally like his favorite pastime was getting teenagers to come beat me up, and I'm like 8,
Oh my gosh.
So I was very scrappy. I can hold my own, but people will always underestimate somebody that looks like that. So like that's the part that I really loved. But it was her heart. She's such a great actress, especially when it comes to portraying emotions and heart and compassion on screen. And that's why I fell in love with that version of Wonder Woman, because I was just like, she was this unassuming hero, but it was that heart that really got it for me. Just like with Superman, that's another reason why I'm such a big Superman fan, because he has all this heart. Like he's always worried about everybody being okay.
I like the movie. I think they told a pretty good story. And I really like the fact that this was she was a one woman army, able to take out this really imposing force, but with Superman, I would love for them to get more into it. I know they probably have in the comics, but him really wrestling with, what is home? What is his name from The Boys? Homelander. So I would love to see him have more of an intense internal conflict about, why do I have to listen to
Anybody, yeah.
You know,
Kind of like they did in the Injustice games.
yeah,
Like
right.
once his heart got broken, he was just like,
That
put up with this.
storyline
Like,
is so dope. I love that
it's
storyline.
great. Like, I've been waiting for a third one for so long, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid they'll never make one. But I mean, if they do, I will spend $70 on that. Okay.
Yeah. That one, that storyline, that the Injustice storyline, crazy
Yes.
good.
It's
good.
fabulous because it's true. Like, why do any of them
You're right.
decide to do good? And I would love to see that struggle too. Like,
that's a great point.
kind of like on Smallville. Like, you
Yeah.
would see him he was struggling with coming into his powers, but because he had this such a great like influence and support of parents and stuff like that, like he was able to make these right decisions. But there's a few parts in there, like especially like specific kryptonite and stuff, where he would just be like, I'll do what I want. Like, who's gonna stop me?
Right on.
You know, like Batman isn't existing yet.
That's true.
Like, you know, I'm still a teenager. Batman's not there. He can't stop me with his glove.
Right.
But I agree. Like,
let's switch over real
it'd
quick.
be cool.
Because I mean, we're not even reading the article at this point.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
we get on tangents. It's so fun, though.
It is so much fun.
I think we make our fan base think about things and want to check things out that they hadn't checked out before. So, at least I hope. So
yeah.
Sorry for my tangents.
That's a hard one. A hard one is finding what your fan base wants, and what they expect out of you in your channel. You know, I'm still struggling with that. You know, I have videos that will get like, I only have 2 videos, and one is by J Bug, and he's talking about coming back, which is great. I can't wait to see him. But I don't. He's like, he's in a state where he's busy, where he's moving, and he's trying to fit a square peg in a circle, in a circle hole, and I'm like, dude, just take your time. This stuff will be here. You know what I mean? So that's the only problem. I can't wait till he actually has some time open up and he'll be able to get back on. But I don't want him to freaking stress about it. That's the only thing. But
exactly.
I'm still struggling. Some of our videos have, a couple thousand views, and some of our videos have, 50, so it's like,
or like, even with me, like I'll have, some of my Resident Evil ones have hundreds or even over 1,000, and then other ones have like 19.
Right.
And that could be really disheartening for me.
Yes. Yeah.
But then you'll look and you'll be like, but these are performing well. So it's hard because I want to do the whole game, not just whatever I think you guys might need help with.
Yeah.
I'd rather let you guys pick and choose and get lower views than just kind of cater and do the clickbait thing.
Yes.
Like I have one of my Horizon Forbidden West videos. I mean, it's the most popular one that I have on my channel, and it's just a real quick one. But I would rather do that.
Yeah.
And help you guys with what you need, and still have the other stuff in case you want to.
Right.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we're all going to get there.
Yes.
But definitely, like, I would say if anybody has any suggestions, like I've gotten a couple people like last week with some of the topics that we had. Some of those, like I said, Kasumi had asked that we speak about something. So I gave him a shout out for it because he brought that to our attention and asked us to speak about it. And stuff. So if you guys have stuff you want us to talk about, you can always hit us up on social media.
That's right. I gotta get Beerus, because we've been having a really good conversation. That he's one of the greatest dudes I've ever met. He's crazy awesome. Oh my gosh.
He's great, and you're never gonna find somebody more supportive than him. Like, to be a fan on your channel. So I'm always really honored when he checks our stuff out. But he's got great like commentary and questions, and so does John DBZ.
Yes,
and so it's always great.
2 of our guys missing from the the comments today, which is it. We just miss them. We just miss you guys.
Definitely.
But we got to talking about Bo DeMaio last night, or it was probably last night, but how he just got fired from X-Men 97. I Bo DeMaio popped on my radar whenever The Witcher, they were going through their controversy with Henry Cavill leaving. And
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of Henry Cavill. I have been for a while, and I think he was the perfect pick for Geralt in The Witcher.
Yes.
And whenever he was kind of subtly coming out with his issues with the show, and then finally, left, Bo DeMaio's the one that kind of sounded the alarm on why that could be. Nothing definitive has come out, but Bo DeMaio's like, he wanted the story to follow the books and the games that he loved, and they decided to go in a different direction, so he left. And Bo DeMaio was the one on the front lines, saying that that's probably what happened. And now Bo DeMaio gets fired from X-Men 97, and nobody knows why. It's just all of a sudden just gone. Here today, gone tomorrow. It's like, what happened?
Well, you gotta wonder, because you see so many times that actors, YouTube personalities, news people, singers, whoever, will stand up for something. They will offer it as their opinion, but they also kind of have this inside knowledge. And they'll tell the truth. And somebody doesn't like it, and everybody has connections, and they talk to somebody, and suddenly that person's gone. So it makes me wonder, did the people working on Witcher get together with the people that are working on X-Men 97 and have a discussion and decide to toss him out? Because unfortunately, everything's political. They don't want you telling that story and that truth, because it's true. Henry is a big gamer. And he doesn't want, that's why he did the show. He wanted to do justice to a series that he loves. It wasn't doing that, so he's left. Well, saying that might make people be like, well, I don't want to watch the show if it's not going to be anything like the games. Well, it's a personal decision for Henry, and that I support. It doesn't mean I won't necessarily watch the new seasons of Witcher, but I'm going to take it into account. If I don't like what I see, I'm not going to watch it. But I'll always give something a chance. Just like we did with Avatar, the new Netflix show.
I tried.
We gave it a chance. So,
goodness gracious.
But I think when there's other people, I'm that person where my friends will be politically correct and just kind of keep it close to the vest, and I'll be like, this is what happened, and it is not right, and I'm going to stand up for you. And I get in trouble all the time. For that stuff.
Right on.
I'm not in my 20s anymore, so I'm not nearly as bad about it. I pick and choose my battles a lot better now. But you've got to think about that. The people that are calling attention to what is wrong are always going to be the ones that suffer.
Right on. Yes. And that could be part of what's going on. There are some rumors that it's because he had an OF account. Now, it was safe for work. As far as I know, he didn't post anything that was explicit. But some people are, it's a rumor that could have been a reason. Now, my stance on that is, for one, because a lot of teachers have OF accounts and they get fired from their job, right? In my opinion, I think that is totally wrong. What they do out of school, not unless they kill someone or something like that. As long as it's above board and legal, I think they should be able to. Now, with that being said,
and I agree,
I think what their problem is that they think that these kids are going to find these sites. My answer to that is, where are these parents? Why are they able to get on there, and see this stuff? They shouldn't have access to explicit materials. They're children. So
I mean, I know they're always gonna find something. Like I don't know how YouTube ends up with pornographic material on there, but it might be only for a couple days or a couple hours. It still sneaks on there until it's caught, and by then children are seeing it, because That's what happens. But
Yeah.
as far as the OF accounts go, there's been kids kicked out of Catholic schools because their moms do one. Why is that your business?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, they're not having anything explicit go on except for here I am in these outfits.
Yeah.
And it's something that they began and then started doing the OF account, but it was done as a couple.
Yeah.
To support the wife and everything like that, bring her confidence back and such. And so why did you kick out 2 children out of school? Because their mom has no OF account, because some parents found out and they were mad.
Yeah.
They don't have to get on it.
They don't. So
they don't have to get on it.
There was an article that came out that a woman's children got taken out of school for OF.
Yeah.
But she had it advertised on the back of her car.
Well, see, now that's just not good. That's I mean, I get it, but maybe get a magnet so it comes on and off, and then like when you're going to school, you can remove that magnet and advertise your stuff.
Oh, yeah, so funny.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You're right. Like with my son, everything is blocked.
Yeah.
Like he has to come to me and get permission for a website. Like he texted me the other day. He was like, "Can you unblock roadblocks?" Sure, no problem. But I have a whitelist. So after I've checked the website, and he's 15, but I'm still that way. Like,
right.
You know, I don't care. I was with that. The rule has always been until you're 18, you're not allowed to cuss.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that.
Right on.
If you're living in my house at 18 and you're going to pay a little bit of rent.
Yeah.
You pretty much have your freedom, but you're still going to have to do X amount of things. But I'll unblock everything. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? Just don't get me in trouble. Don't be stupid.
Right.
But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. Where are these parents? The internets now have it built in.
Yeah.
There's an app on your phone.
Yeah.
You can easily limit internet time for your children. You can easily limit what they can see and what they can't.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse nowadays. So if there's OF sites, it should. So what? Do you have to go to it?
Right.
No,
and
you
your
do
kid
not.
Shouldn't be getting on it.
Exactly. And it's. I mean, I've never been on, so I don't know. But from what I understood, like, isn't it a subscription?
I want to. For some, yes.
I believe they're paying.
For others, no.
Okay.
But
well, I was under the impression they were all subscriptions. So another one of my thoughts was always, how are they getting the money to do it?
Yeah, that's another one. That pertains to gaming too. Is like with the Epic, they had to pay out a huge, like $500 million because a lot of kids were buying stuff, and it's like, why do they have, what is this? Why did they have your payment information?
I know, because that actually happened with me. I was white hot mad, but I had to do something. Like, I think it was PlayStation Network I bought for my son, and it was still like around 11, and the I have to do it even though I'm told not to because I want it.
Yeah.
Phase was still very big in his life.
Yeah.
But I had to do the subscription for PlayStation Network, so therefore I had to leave my card on there for a specific amount of time. I know with Microsoft, sometimes I can't delete my payment information right away off of its account, but normally we'll delete it right away or we'll use a card. It was just busy then, and I wasn't thinking, and he sure did get on there and rack up over $200 worth of charges. But he learned.
White hot mad. Like,
he also learned his lesson.
Yeah.
So, but again, I also learned mine.
Okay.
So, there's going to be times that parents aren't going to be thinking about it. You're going to be busy, or you have to leave the card on there for 24 hours so that the subscription service is for sure paid for, and then you can remove it. But life happens if we forget. So, but something like an OF account, like, your children should not have
even
access to any stuff. If you've got Cash App, it's supposed to be a child account that you have access to. Like, I have a Venmo, and it's strictly for my son, but it's all under my name.
Right.
I can get him a teenage debit card. I'm not going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if I go to the bank and open up an account for him soon, which I'm planning on doing, he's not going to have that card in his wallet.
Yeah.
He can come to me, ask me if he can go to the store and use that money.
Yeah.
As we work on responsibility and budgeting and stuff like that. But it's also because then he can't get on and lie and say he's 18 and get access to stuff like this because it is my job right now. Until he is 18, I'm 100% responsible for him. I always look at it like, I always tell him it's kind of like, you know, you go to jail, I go to jail. Even if I'm not actually in jail, I'm still suffering. I'm still there with you. So it's really important that parents, everybody says, well, people either don't care or they care too much and they're too restrictive. No. In this day and age, children have access to everything. That's why Microsoft is so crazy, because in the UK, there was an instance of Microsoft Online Play. Even this person would talk to the mom and the mom would walk in the room. Nobody thought anything of it. But this guy was grooming. And then eventually talks this kid into coming out to meet him. And that kid is no longer with us. And it was a horrific thing that happened. And the parents are still like kind of doing through the legal system of trying to get more protections on gaming. But think about that. Like your children could be talking to anyone.
That's it. That is a really good point. The one aspect I hadn't even really thought of, you know, you're exactly right on that. You're exactly right. So I get scared. Like, he's got a lot more freedom with like online play and online talking than he did, because he is 15 and he does need to learn how to interact and deal with people. But I'll be like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? And I'll ask him questions and stuff. But it terrifies me every day, thinking that it could be some 50-year-old guy that's eventually going to talk him into coming for a concert or something. And, you know, he's going to get there and suddenly I don't have a kid anymore. Like that's extremely terrifying. But stuff like that does happen. And parents, they're like, well, I don't want to live my life in fear. Well, sweetheart, that's just the reality that we're living right now. Exactly.
You know, like you're going to get there. You're going to find the right balance. But parents, absolutely, like, these are your children. If they're getting on an OF site, you need to find out and you need to put a stop to it.
100%.
It's not an actor's fault. It's not a director's fault. It's not a mom that's super hot that your kid's best friend has. It's not their fault. You know what I mean? Times are desperate. You know, OF helped a lot of people through the pandemic, and they liked it and they kept going and stuff like that. But it's not my business nor my place to judge you. If you have an OF account, I don't have to get on it. Simple as that.
Do your thing, you know.
So
like you
I
said,
don't think anybody should be fired over something like that.
Right. But we've got one more article to get through. There have been rumors about a Xbox exclusive that hasn't even come out yet, that is going to PlayStation, and it makes sense. What?
Yeah, we were talking before we found out that Hellblade 2 might be coming from Xbox exclusive to PlayStation. And that would be exciting. I told you from the get-go that I believe it always should have been multi-platform, because the fact that it was on the first one. I always felt like making it a Microsoft exclusive kind of alienates like half the fan base. But I do understand that they bought Ninja Theory. I do think like they should do something like they do with Call of Duty, where for 10 weeks PlayStation has it first, or whatever. Microsoft could do that too, and then allow it to come to PS5. So it's interesting, this rumor that's come out.
Let's get into the article real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I love you too, baby. All right, so PS5. PS5 get one of Xbox's biggest unreleased games, And as we can see Senua right here. She didn't know much in the first game, but now she's, freaking kicking butt and taking names. Microsoft recently announced that which we already know this part. So currently, the game is being released on May 21st. Mark your calendars on that. 2024 for PC and Xbox Series X and S. Speaking about the exclusivity of games going forward, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer said on the official Xbox podcast, "I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games." Okay, baby. Okay.
So precious.
Okay.
She needs to keep tabs on Patty.
Yes, 5 to 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry, and that is a key point coming from Phil Spencer. If he thinks that that's how the game industry is going to evolve, he's going to be taking steps towards that. So he's going to be making less and less exclusives. So for me,
yes,
that this rumor holds a lot of water. Oh my god,
yeah,
that looks amazing.
They're future proofing.
Holy crap, that looks so good.
It really does. Did you guys watch the trailer on the Game Awards? Because I will tell you what, like I was mesmerized, and I watched the trailer like 5 times when I got done with the awards.
Right on.
It's just amazing.
Jeez, I'm hoping that this doesn't reroute me to YouTube. Nope. Look, let's see this. Yep. Let's see this real quick. Here, I gotta turn the desktop audio back on.
I've dreamt of this.
Can you hear that?
This place of fear and fury. Do you hear it? The heartbeat of the lost ones.
Wow.
I can feel them on my skin. Each death inked.
Okay, so we're not going to go through the entire thing, but holy crap, it looks so much better than the first one. The first one was amazing looking.
It does. And they got better with the video game character looking more like the actress as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've gone over in a couple of the past episodes, they've really gone above and beyond to make this a lot better, including the actress learning martial arts in order to perform the motion capture better. So it was a better and more realistic game. They also made the costumes that she wears in the game so that she can wear them while filming those motion captures.
Yeah.
So that it's the most realistic it can be. And there's been a lot of dedication that's gone into this game, and I'm really excited for it.
Thank you, baby. That's and so I'm. What do I want to say here? I am inclined to believe that we should take this with a grain of salt. But with Ninja Theory releasing the first Hellblade on PlayStation, then going to Xbox, and the fact that Phil Spencer is saying that exclusive will be a thing of the past in the future, makes me think that we should definitely take this into account. But it might be a scenario like you were mentioning. It spends a little like 6 months being exclusive to Xbox and PC, and then comes to other platforms. But they haven't said one way or another if that's what they're doing. So we can only speculate at this point. But I do believe that Hellblade 2 will eventually come to PlayStation.
I think that it will eventually, yes, for sure. I'm at least hoping.
Me too.
Because
Me too.
I'm a big PlayStation gamer. We do have the Series S here. I'm going to be able to play Hellblade when it comes out because I also have a gaming laptop. The reason I'm a console gamer is because it's always going to perform on the console for that 6-year lifespan like we talked about.
Yeah.
Whereas my PC, I might have to upgrade or have special requirements.
Yeah.
I see a lot of greatness on PC, don't get me wrong, but I can't afford to do that.
Right.
So I mean, I do have a laptop here that I'm hoping meet the specs
Right on.
for Hellblade, so that I can play it right away.
Yeah.
Because I know my son and I will fight over the Xbox every day, trying to get some gameplay in. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with Microsoft having it as an exclusive for X amount of time.
Yeah.
I think that they should release it on PlayStation for the simple fact that it was on all of the platforms when it came out. Yeah, PlayStation got it first, but I mean, now Microsoft has it first, so
yeah,
it'll even out. But yeah, unconfirmed rumors on this right now that I really am hoping are true eventually.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait to see. Nobody's really said much on it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sinuous, I keep wanting to say Sinuous Sacrifice because it was the name of the first one, but Hellblade 2, is that a first day buy? Is that a pre-order buy?
That's going to be a first day for me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I might pre-order. I'm not really sure. It depends. I'll probably... I know we've got Game Pass, and it's supposed to come to Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
So, like I said, but I'm buying that thing.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't ever want to risk not having access to it.
No.
But
kidding. This is a good one.
There are a few games that like I will buy on multiple consoles or multiple generations, and this would be one of them. Yeah. I have absolute 100% faith that this game is going to be amazing and completely worth my time and money. So it's definitely a first day for me.
Right on. And before we sign off, I wanted to get your opinion on. I know the layoffs are, almost a few and far between. They are massive right now. Yes. What are your thoughts about a lot of these studio veterans coming together and starting their own studios? Because we do see a lot of that going on right now too. Yeah,
I actually think that that's a really great idea. If they can get their money together and get some sort of investing and stuff like that done, they're going to have a lot more freedom, at least at first.
Yes. Yeah.
To make the kind of games that they and the fans want, and I think it'll be really great. Yeah. My only concern is I forget the name of that game, the one that it came out and then the very next day the studio declared bankruptcy. And that happened over the summer, so that is a concern. That's a concern for me.
The day before or something like that.
Something
zombie...
like that. But so I do get concerned that like they might put something out and not have the capital to kind of like keep it up, or they might not have the capital to continue with production. Right. Some people will, go ahead and release like the game and it'll be mostly finished, but their players basically get to be their testers. and they have to, like that happens a lot with Assassin's Creed. Like
I don't mind betas though. That's a good way to get a
betas are different, but like a full release, like it happened with Assassin's Creed. There was one where I was going after the mythical black dog, like this giant black dog in English history. It's always been like this urban legend, and they put it in the game. And so I go after him, and he's stuck in the air like this, as if he's jumped onto my shoulders and is holding me, biting my neck, and he's stuck like that. I'm running around. He's in the same position. I'm like axing him. Nothing is happening. I run out of the arena, go to a whole nother area, teleport back, and that dog is still there, chewing on my invisible neck,
Nice.
And then there was a couple where like you'd be going down the river and suddenly your boat's like shooting up into the air and then lands upside down on the bank of the river, and you're just like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's like this is a good reason that they should make fully operational finished games.
So I think the Assassin's Creed series can get away with that a little bit better because they do things in such a quick amount of time, and for the most part they are solid. There's a few things here and there, but they're very quick when you email them, or especially if you show them a YouTube video of it happening. They're extremely quick at putting in a ticket and working on it.
Yeah.
So they can get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and Assassin's Creed is a big franchise too.
Yes.
It's huge.
But a new company coming out with all the devs that are getting together after being laid off, they're not going to have that reputation. They're not going to have that winning series that's able to withstand that yet. So I do worry about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like at least at first, until they start getting bigger, they're going to be able to make the games that the fans are talking about and what they want to see from it.
Yeah.
They're going to make what they know of the industry. They're going to make what they know of the gaming. And I think we could get some really amazing games
Me too.
out of these devs.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
And all I can say right now is that I really just wish them the best, and I hope that they're able to come out with something great.
100%. Same. One last one. This is the last one.
Okay.
Did you see?
We can have 5 last ones.
Yeah. Are you a huge fan of the Fallout series?
I'm actually not big on the Fallout series, just because having to come in so late.
Right. Yeah.
In the party, I have downloaded them.
Yeah.
On my PlayStation Plus, and my daughter's ex-fiance had really talked to me about it. We were talking about all the games and stuff. So I also put them on because we still hang out. I still love that kid.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got them all so we can play now. And he's like, okay. So I haven't really gotten into it in the traditional sense. I've played here and there. I've seen some gameplay. But I don't know the whole thing.
Gotcha.
But I am interested for the show.
That was the reason I asked. I don't know why I asked questions like that. It's like
it's okay. I think it's good because you can be excited for like a TV show and not really have a huge background on the series. Not everybody knows, you know, like I don't have this plethora of knowledge that it might appear I do on a lot of things, you know, like I can tell you all about Resident Evil. I can't give you the entire background on Fallout though. You know what I mean? So there's differences. There's always something you know, something you don't, and that's okay. And I think when you ask questions like that, it also helps the audience get to know us. In a better way, and instead of lying, being like, "Oh yeah, Fallout's great," and looking up something on Wiki, and being like, "Yeah, this and this." I can be honest, but I'm excited for the show.
Right.
Like Twisted Metal, I know I played. I don't remember a lot of it.
Same.
But I absolutely adored the show, and especially the first episode where they crash through a mall and like one of the discs for Twisted Metal is on his windshield. He like swipes it off. So if you're not paying attention, you don't catch it.
That's amazing.
But like little callbacks. It's so cool. But I know I played it.
I still gotta watch it. Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, but I have friends that have never seen it, and they're just like, dude, this is awesome. And it sparks that game. Like people are like, let me check that out.
Yeah. So hopefully Fallout does that. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have.
Okay.
And it really does look good.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
It, you know, again, you know, a section of YouTube is just about, you know, saying how bad something's going to be and all that good stuff.
Of course.
But I am really looking forward to this. It looks like a really great story. And I'm just really looking forward. And I don't have the baggage of, you know, playing through the games, you know, with, you know, the last Airbender. I have that baggage because I absolutely love that the cartoon show. So going into, you know, the live action, I have really high expectations for it. They didn't live up to them, and someone who hasn't seen the cartoon would probably maybe would love the show. They're
more likely to love that show.
Right.
Someone that's seen the entire animated series.
Yeah.
I had to learn and train myself, and sometimes I still can't do it.
Yeah.
But I had to train myself of this is nothing. like the source material.
Yeah.
We're going into it and it's all new. It's a whole new creative process. It's a whole new work of art. It might have the same name, but it's not the same.
Right.
And I had to train myself to get into it. And so now I like trick my mind into, this is all new. This is going to be something. So let's look at. And I don't have as much trouble comparing as I once did. It would be like 5 minutes into a show and I'd be like, this is not nothing like that. I am done, and like shut it off. And now I can get through several episodes and then evaluate where I want to go. So I mean, there's a big difference. I always try to go into stuff thinking of it as standalone of the IP.
Awesome. Okay.
And that does help a little. It gets easier over time. But like you said with this one, we don't have that history with the franchise of the games. So to us, it could be phenomenal. The Last of Us is probably the closest anybody has ever gotten to an adaptation of a video game live. But I think that a lot of people are noticing that, and I think that they're trying to make changes. So Fallout had the luxury of seeing how that went first. So I'm really hopeful for the series, and I hope that the hardcore fans of the games are really satisfied, because it looks like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Right on. I think that's all I've had. That's all I got. Freaking went through the Rolodex of stuff to mention, and we've reached the end of it. Do you have anything else to add?
We just find so much good stuff throughout the week, and we only get this one day, so I appreciate everybody that sticks around for it.
Yeah, same.
So, I don't have anything else. I hope that everyone out there has a wonderful weekend and a great week. Again, if you guys think of anything or you see something on the news, hit us up on social media. You can hit Dark Fox and I on Twitter, X, and Instagram.
All that stuff is in the description too.
And we can't guarantee you that we'll get to whatever you asked us to. But we can always look into it, and whether it's that Saturday that we're able to get into it, or we have to push it off till next Saturday, we'll always try to hit the topics that you guys are interested in.
100%.
So and it'll help us build a better show eventually.
Yes. Because
I love doing this show with you, man.
Same. Freaking even if Panda doesn't show up or anything like that, it's still here, and we've got the very sharp, thoughtful commentary from Gamer.
Well, thank you.
So
appreciate that.
And
you're a great host. I like how you get me thinking and talk. Oh yes, even before we decided to do the show together, and you would ask me questions, and I would be like, man, this is fun. He gets me thinking on stuff, and then I get you thinking with my answers back, and then we just kind of bounce off each other, and that's kind of how the show comes together. And I really love it. But I think the way that you think about things and the way that you ask questions, it really pulls more out. And you get more out of the show. And it's just really great. I think you're a great host.
And that's one of the things that drew me to, bringing you on, is the way that you answer it, because you hit it from a perspective that I haven't even thought about, So I think that is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I know that it's I picked the right choice. So it did. I hate to say this. It was basically kind of a screening type thing to see if we would mesh well, and you knocked it out of the park in a way that I have not seen it,
Thank you.
So
I
appreciate
really
you.
And I was just I was all nervous. I was like, I hope he likes my answers. He's awesome. And as a new YouTuber, I was just he's so famous and he talked to me today,
So what's really also crazy about that, the way that you answered them, it seemed it was, on top of that, really thoughtful and smart, but it was unapologetic how you answered it. It was I don't care what you think about this answer. This is how I feel about it. And, again, had me coming from it from a different perspective. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Definitely. But one of the things I like is that I've also, and it didn't used to be this way because I'm very stubborn, but it also, I've developed that your opinion's still yours and it's valid.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So it's easier now because you and I handle that very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we might not think the same thing or agree on things, but it's never, well, you're wrong.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It's always, I haven't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And it gives each of us a moment to just kind of look at it from someone else's point of view, which I think is very important for people. And I think that a lot of us have lost that.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that between our show that we're able to kind of bring some of that back to people. And that open-mindedness and that willingness to hear the other one out.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Taylor Swift, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you about that.
I am an hors d'oeuvre Swiftie. I like some of her songs, you know, but I'm not going in for the main course, you know.
And that's fine. And you know, I will play Taylor Swift almost all the time, but if I have people over, I'll be like, do you mind if I play some Taylor Swift?
Well,
or like with my daughter, she walked in, she goes, when we go on this road trip, we're not listening to Taylor the whole time. And I said, excuse me? Like, you're going to tell me what to do? So like, it was a joke, but you know, she was just like, I'm sending you my One Direction and my One Direction boys and like all the playlist. And
that's hilarious.
I mean, we go back and forth, you know, it's either going to be a compromise or I'm not going to play it because I know Taylor Swift is not for everybody and I'm fine. But if you tell me she's awful, I'm going to tell you you're wrong.
Well,
but
yeah, that's 100% the truth. It's like, you know, oh my God, here we go. Another tangent. But like a lot of artists, you know, not all of, like, you might find an artist that you don't like, but there's at least one song or, you know, two songs that are undeniably good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
or something, or they do something, they have a way of saying something that really speaks to you.
Right. So you know? I'm on that line of thinking where nothing is 100% bad or good. You know? So if you come to me and it's like, oh, that's trash or whatever, I'm gonna be like, I know I can't listen to anything you say because you're lying.
You're lying. I always try to give something a chance. You might play me a song and I'm like,
you should get into my K-pop playlist. Oh my God.
Yeah, but then like I'm still gonna let you continue to play songs for me. It might only be 2 songs by an artist that I like. But I guarantee they'll be on my Apple Music within an hour.
Yep. Before we go, okay. I have fallen in love. It's this band called Cannons. Oh my God, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Awesome.
I was listening to them on the road. They had like an hour-long mix or whatever. Love them. So I just wanted.
I'm actually writing this down.
Oh. Cannons, amazing group. They've got a funky kind of vibe to them, you know, but kind of I can't explain it. It's really good. You won't know until you hear it. They kind of remind me of a My Morning Jacket, but they take a little bit more mainstream approach. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I thought I wanted to mention them before we got off.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna check them out. So
right on. Tell me what you think
about that.
Right on.
Definitely.
All right,
guys. You have a great rest of your weekend, and thank you for joining us whenever you watch.
Yes. Right on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a really, really great discussion. Went a lot of different ways I didn't know it was going to go. If you want to get a hold of Gamer Geek, we have all of her information. Get a hold of her on Instagram, on Twitter, X, and check out her YouTube. Really great stuff. Other than that, I don't have much else for you guys. So come back here next week on Saturday, and we'll be here. Until next time, keep it casual. Peace.